Luca. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. In this video we are going to be reviewing Luca, which is the latest movie from Disney and Pixar, and I am really mixed with this movie, as on the one hand it's a really charming, quite literal fish out of water coming of age storyline set in the beautiful and tropical Italian coast Riviera, which looks absolutely incredible. However, on the other hand, this movie is really playing it safe. There is very limited amount of danger happening in this movie, and it doesn't really pay off everything they were building up throughout this entire movie, and it's really disappointing as Pixar are renowned for creating very layered, very complex, very clever and very heartbreaking movies, and I just feel like Pixar could have done so much more with Luca to make it in the same league as some of their brilliant movies. But that being said, it is definitely very watchable and very entertaining as well, and I'm going to be breaking it all down for you in this movie review. So from a storyline point of view, we're introduced to the underwater world of the sea monsters and the main lead character, who is called Luca, and he is living with his family in the Italian Riviera, but he's just really bored of his life. One day he meets and befriends a fellow sea monster called Alberto. Alberto teaches Luca what it's like to be in the surface world and kind of sells him a little bit of a dream, and one day the two of them escape to the island of Portorosso. Over there they enter into a race so that they can raise up enough money so that they can buy a Vespa and go travelling around the world, and the film then explores whether or not they're going to be successful in this mission. Now, from a positives point of view, I feel like this movie is really great, as it's centered around real life Italian myths and legends, which I think is really cool. Also, I feel like the sea monsters themselves are a bit of a metaphor and a representation of society in terms of people that just feel a little bit unaccepted and very different to the rest of society, which I think is really interesting. And also the actual animation style in this movie looks absolutely incredible. On that note, the Italian Riviera looks absolutely amazing, and it really does make you want to just pack your bags and go traveling over there. However, from a negatives point of view, this movie definitely feels like it's made for kids, as there's very limited danger in this movie. And throughout the entire first and second act, there's so much build-up happening in terms of, you definitely don't want humans to discover that you're actually a sea monster. And I just feel like that didn't pay off in as great of a way as it could have done in this movie. Also, they didn't really do that much world building for the actual sea monsters themselves in terms of what is their life actually like in the underwater world. And also, I was just waiting for a really big moment to happen in this movie, like all of the other Pixar movies in terms of the final act, but it just didn't really happen in this movie. And so I feel from a storyline point of view, it's a really mixed bag with Luca. So from a cast and characters point of view, Luca has excellent voice acting in this movie, some of the best voice acting that I've heard in a long time, and it definitely feels very authentic for the location, namely Italy, in this movie, which is absolutely brilliant. So let's go through them one by one. So first up we have Tremblay in this movie, who is playing the Luca character, and he's just a sea monster that just wants to experience a lot of excitement and wants to grow and develop as a person. I feel like he's a pretty decent lead character, and he's also a really nice and good-hearted character. Next up we have Grazer from Shazam and the It franchise, and in this movie he is playing the best friend Alberto character. He's a really danger-loving character, very free-spirited, and this character gets really jealous when Luca makes friends with any other character, and he really has some abandonment issues, which they explore really well in this movie. Next up we have Giulia, who is working with Alberto and with Luca so that all three of them can win the race and all of the prize money, and she's a little bit protective of these characters against all of the other people that are seeing them as outsiders. And also within their little trio dynamic, I feel like it's really interesting, as it definitely plays on the famous notion of two's a company and three's a crowd. Next up we have the parents of Luca that are constantly trying to find him and are on his trail and are very overprotective of him as well. There are some funny moments with these characters as they're trying to constantly find the Luca character. Next up we have the main bully, who is the Ecole character, and he's very Italian, which is really amazing, and he's really intimidating to all of the characters pretty much in this movie. But that being said, you don't really understand why this character is being a bit of a jerk to everyone in this town. He's just being bad for the sake of being bad, and it would have been nice to understand a little bit more in the same way that we do with Alberto. But you know, that being said, from a cast and characters point of view overall, this movie is actually pretty wicked. So from a visuals point of view, this movie is honestly outstanding and incredible. They've captured the essence of the Italian coast so brilliantly in this movie that it really does make you want to pack your bags and go traveling to the Italian coastal areas straight away. All of the animation in this movie looks really, really cool. All of the locations in the surface world are really, really great. All of the locations in the underwater world are really, really great as well. I feel like they could have done a little bit more in terms of making the underwater world even better. But you know, that being said, all of the race aspects in particular look really, really cool, especially when the characters are racing down hills. All of those scenes look really, really wicked, and so from a visuals point of view, Luca is absolutely brilliant. So in terms of comparisons, even though Luca is the latest movie from Pixar to be released, unfortunately I do feel like it's also one of their weakest ones as well, and as such I'd put it on the same level as The Good Dinosaur, Wall-E, Cars and Monsters University, and so I don't think it's as good as Soul, Inside Out, Toy Story, The Incredibles, Coco. Pixar's got such brilliant movies, and I just feel like unfortunately Luca isn't on the same level as their better projects. I think also you can definitely compare this movie to The Little Mermaid as well, especially the aspects of mermaid slash sea monster characters, what happens to them conceptually when they go to the surface world. And so from a comparison point of view, I just feel like Luca could have been so much stronger. So overall, you know, with Luca, I feel like it was the right decision to put it straight to streaming, as it is a little bit of a kids movie. You know, it is fine for what it is, and it is an enjoyable movie. I just feel like they could have done so much more with the concept and with the execution as well. And so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give it a solid 5.5 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you think, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.